Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about protein. Yeah, protein. No, not really. Maybe just a little bit. So, my buddy came up to me today and he's like, hey man, first of all, he said, I see you got a YouTube channel. And so I was like, yeah, totally stoked that he checked it out. And, glad he watched it and everything. He's like, dude, I kind of want to try this out. He's like, I think I want to do it. And I can tell he's been interested for a while, and he's been trying lots of diets, I believe, just trying to, lose the fat or whatever. He's like a huge guy. He's like really big and really strong. And he says, I think this will be great for me, but I'm kind of afraid, man, that I'm gonna lose too much weight or something. He's like, I don't want to be too skinny. I pride myself on strength and size, is what he said. So he said, I know it's kind of probably an irrational fear, and my first thought is, yeah, it is definitely an irrational fear. What is an irrational fear? It's being afraid of something that you shouldn't be afraid of. Not because it doesn't exist, but because it's not a bad thing. It's like a phobia, an irrational fear. What is it? Agoraphobia. I don't know. It's like fear of being outside. What a beautiful thing. Or it's a fear of big empty places or something. No, it might be social fear. How about arachnophobia? You're afraid of spiders. You should not be afraid of spiders. Spiders are good little dudes to have around. And, other things I don't know, maybe there's a phobia of food, like you're anorexic. That's, so a phobia, an irrational fear, is something that you should not be afraid of. Something that is good for you. So he's afraid of becoming a skinny person, even though he wants to lose weight. And he's like, can you just make a video, dude, about protein or something? Can you help me get rid of this irrational fear of getting the slim body that I want? But he's also saying, okay, so the real issue is he's afraid he's gonna become weak. If he's afraid he's not gonna get enough protein, is essentially what it is. And dude, I can't help you with that. I can't tell you what your protein needs are. I'm not a doctor. I've done enough research for myself to know, okay, I'm not gonna wither away, and I haven't. I've been eating less than 5% of my calories, I'm pretty sure, or yeah, I'm pretty sure it's around 5% of my calories from protein, which is the same amount that's in mother's breast milk, which is what kids eat in the the fastest growth stage of their life. They only eat 5% protein when they grow more than any other time in their life. So, fuck high protein diets. That's all I got to say about that, man. I'm a real person. I'm not a scientist, but you don't need that much goddamn protein. You don't crave protein. I guess, you do crave protein technically. When you get hungry, you need to eat. But what's the real? What do you crave? You crave sweet and salty, pretty much, right? And so, I'm satisfying both of those cravings right now, and I'd like to show you guys what I'm eating now. This is what I call the craving buster right here, and it's got packs a pretty powerful protein punch, if you know what I mean. So 5 simple ingredients in here. It's got organic white rice. I digest white rice better than brown, personally. I know it's got less nutrients, but it also has less anti-nutrients. You can look those up. Grains are not really an ideal food, contrary to, I don't know, somebody's belief. I don't know who the hell thinks grains are ideal anymore, but they are better than a lot of food. They are high in carbohydrate, so I'm eating the refined carbohydrate of white rice. It's pretty much just a ball of complex carb. It's pretty much just sugar, but it comes off as a real food. I got no salt added tomato paste or tomato sauce, whichever you prefer. It's about a whole can of it. There's BPA in the can, so if you're worried about like the chemicals in your diet, you might want to find an organic brand or buy something in glass or make your own tomato sauce, which would be best. But I like it quick, easy, simple. That's why I'm doing this. So no salt added tomato paste is about 300 milligrams of sodium, which is about all anybody really needs. If you crave a little bit more, that's fine, but you don't need salt, because if you add salt, you're gonna end up going like way above what your body needs for sodium. And when you have excess of really anything, it's bad. Extremely hard to have excess carbs. I mean, I I don't know if I've ever eaten too much carbohydrate, really. I mean, maybe if I was like, I don't know. It's just I don't know if it's even possible, because the body just uses it so fast. But things like sodium, it stays in your body for a long time. And your body kind of it uses sodium really slowly. So yeah, it's easy to get excess sodium. Same with protein. You eat like too dense of a source of protein, your body's just not going to be able to use it. That's the problem with too much protein, you know. So anyway, this is definitely an 80-10-10 type ratio food here. So I actually added some like cane sugar, some sugar in the raw, you know, whatever, sugar to it to kind of sweeten it up. And for me, that makes me feel better after eating it. Like I don't crave something sweet because I just had something sweet. But it's still kind of the traditional way you'd eat complex carbs, or eat the white starchy food is with a kind of more savory type dish here. Different with the sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are definitely a sweet food, and you'll feel, if you choose like a whole food, you're gonna feel that much better. But this is for people like me. I talk about that in a minute, but this is for people who are like used to the standard American diet right here. This will satisfy all the cravings of the standard American diet. 100% guaranteed. Super low fat. You're not going to be getting very much fat at all. You might even, if you eat this day in, day out for like months and months and months and months like I have, you might even want to consider adding just a little bit of overt fats in there. I haven't done it in like 9 months. No overt fats for 9 months. Feeling the best I ever have in my entire life. But I'm just saying, this is like so low in fat, you're just not going to put on any body fat like ever. Carbs don't make you fat. I'll make another video about that later. So, the third ingredient, black beans. Yep, got black beans out of a can. That's a BPA-free can. If you are concerned about not getting enough protein, if that concerns you for whatever reason, you can just increase the amount of black beans, or the ratio of black beans to rice, you know? Another one, mushrooms. Super duper 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 freaking high in protein. So the beans and the mushrooms, they taste awesome. Just the textures in this food. So that's what it is. It's just rice and beans with mushrooms, tomato sauce, a little bit of sugar. I added some cayenne pepper in there too. And it's a little bit of oregano. Hits the spot. And it's so simple. It's like, oh man. I don't need to tell you guys. Try rice and beans if you want to go vegan. Honestly, it's the easiest thing in the world. It might not make you feel your best, but it'll satisfy your cravings, and you'll definitely feel better than if you had like a burger, you know? This is like the high carb vegan junk food, pretty much. This is my junk food. This is my vice here. This is the unhealthy shit that I eat. Rice and beans with mushrooms. I mean, come on. Come on. It's like, oh, it's so easy to eat like way healthier. You don't have to spend like hardly any money. And do I need to promote this at all? This is the Cravings Buster Bowl I got right here. Look at the size of that. That's like, I've already eaten like tons of it. I've probably eaten like 700 calories out of it. This thing was like probably, I don't know, 2,700 calories at least. It was around 2,500 calories. No, but with the sugar, I added tons of sugar to it. I had tons of sugar to it. And it tastes great. It's not too sweet. I don't think anything can really be too sweet unless it's too dry. That's another thing. Like, I have a friend who eats dates. No, she doesn't eat dates because the first time she tried it was like, ew, it was too dry. And so she thought it was too sweet. And it's like, it can't be too sweet. It was just too dry. You know? Nobody will have a Gatorade and be like, ew, that's too sweet. Unless they're like low carb. Like, I don't know who who would think like, I don't know. I guess some people, like, I think the problem is not the too much sweetness. I think it's when things are too dry and they suck the moisture out of you. That's what I think. That's what I think. I don't think foods can be too sweet. But they can definitely feel too sweet if there's not enough water in it. Hear what I'm saying? So, just go through some basic health fundamentals for the beginners one more time. Single most important nutrient is air, of course. Thanks to ATM Dan the Man McDonald for that. Number 2 is water, right? So first thing in the morning, as soon as you wake up, at least a liter of water. I drink like 1.5 liters, 2 liters of water first thing when I wake up in the morning. Before every meal, have a liter of water or a quart of water, or two big glasses of water, pretty much. Yeah, try and finish eating early in the day. Get lots of sleep. And eat lots of carbs. Number 1 tip for transitioning to a plant-based diet is eat enough carbs. So, anyway, I hope that helps for the people that are concerned about not getting enough protein on a vegan diet. Beans have more protein than is scientifically proven to be healthy. I'm talking the low-carb people don't want to diet any higher in protein than a bowl of beans. The low-carb, like, meat-eater people that think, like, coconut oil is a paleo food, that think, like, back in the day they were eating, like, olive oil on their goddamn cauliflower or steak or whatever. Like, oh, yeah, I had a steak cooked in olive oil because I'm a Neanderthal this morning. Bullshit. Even those people don't want more protein than in a bowl of beans. So you can get enough protein. You can get too much protein on a vegan diet. Very easy. Me personally, I get bloated. You can see like my hands when I eat like a bowl of beans. I did it yesterday just to experiment. I ate like 700, 8 or 900 calories of beans. I got like bloated, like my hands. It was just from like a meal-sized portion of 20% protein. I felt like bloated, like in my skin, in my veins. Like I think my blood pressure was probably up. So yeah, it's so easy to get too much protein on a plant-based diet. It's easy to be obese on a plant-based diet. It's easy to put on muscle. Putting on muscle isn't about getting a lot of protein anyway. It's about lifting heavy things. And if you want to get the trim, slim, healthy, highly functional, that's most important physique, all you gotta do is eat, whole plant foods, in the proportions that are normally found in nature. I'm talking, like, fruit's the best. Fruit is number 1, but here in New England, like, I'm not eating very much fruit at all because there's just not seasonal fruit up here right now. At least not anything good. So I've been doing mostly sweet potatoes as like my staple food. I'm actually starting like the day after tomorrow. Once I finish up my rice supply, it'll be like tomorrow afternoon. I'm starting a mono diet, and this time it's gonna be successful. I tried bananas one time, and they were so dry. I don't know why. I just can't like really digest bananas that well. Me personally. You should try it. You should try eating like very ripe bananas as like a staple food and see if you can like increase the amount of raw food in your diet. That would be awesome. But I couldn't do it. Like I got constipated from bananas. So I'm going to be doing like a mono diet of sweet potatoes. And I know it's going to be awesome for me. I know it's going to work great. I'm also going to eat as much leafy greens as possible. I think it's going to be good, like kind of a long-term sort of thing for me to start out on. For the next step in my journey, like becoming like more of a whole food eater, is basing my diet on this really reliable and really effective food for me. And I'm just going to start from there. Sweet potatoes, and I'm going to be able to afford as much organic leafy greens as possible because they're just so cheap. The sweet potatoes are so cheap. They're cheaper than like if I decided to make mangoes, which are okay, like not really the best reliable quality around here. So, as opposed to fruit, I'm going to be doing that sweet potato mono diet. I'm going to be documenting it for you guys and showing you my progress, any struggles I might have. It's gonna be so great. I'm like totally looking forward to it. Eating nothing but sweet potatoes and as much leafy greens as I can for I don't know, a few weeks. Just start adding things back in and try and stick more to the whole foods. As much as I love this meal and as good as it makes me feel, I know I can feel better eating foods that are closer to their natural state. So anyway, try it out. Try rice and beans with tomato sauce. Add a little spices. Add sugar. That'll really help. And yeah, if you want more protein, if that's something that concerns you, and again, I'm not here to debate about like nutrition facts. I just want to give you guys some advice that has made me feel good and has made so many other people feel good. If this makes you feel like crap, try sweet potatoes, or try like, if you can afford like mangoes, or I've been doing like Datorade. I still got to make a video about like the breakfast of champions, aka Datorade. If you guys can like do that and make that work, you'll feel better. But this is like baseline, like any freaking body in the world coming from a shitty diet will definitely appreciate this at the very least and get the idea of the whole 8-1-1 ratio, the high carb, low fat, low protein, low sodium. I consider this to be moderate sodium, being 300 milligrams a day, which is extremely low compared to the standard American diet. I mean extremely low. It's like a fraction. And it's still salty, trust me. Still salty. So high carb, low fat, low protein, low sodium. Hydrate the fuck out of yourself. Be piss and clear at least 10 times a day. Get as much sleep as you possibly can. I mean as much as you possibly can. Dream big and enjoy the plant foods. Enjoy the journey, guys. Keep spreading the message of health. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Just to wrap this video up, I wanted to answer the question that is the title of this video. What is the message of health? It's so simple. It can be summed up in one sentence. This is the message of health. Ready? Here it is. Nothing is more important than your health. That's it. That's it. That is the message of health. Nothing is more important than your health. Let me just turn this off here. So, Tyler, my buddy at work, he's concerned about his pride on these things that he has achieved in life. His size, which he certainly has. He's a big dude. He can lift like hundreds of pounds of bananas. We work in a produce section together. So, certainly his size and strength are his worldly things that he can be proud of. But this journey of becoming a self-centered person and pursuing health over everything else, which I believe everyone is either consciously or unconsciously doing, because the fact, in my opinion, is nothing is more important than your health, and nothing is more important to you in your life than your health. So whether you realize it or not, you're going to be pursuing health if you're pursuing your goals, if you're pursuing your dreams, if you're doing what you want to do. What you want is health, whether you know it or not. You understand me? So that's the message I'm trying to get across here. There is nothing more important than your health. So once you realize this, once you have this message, and if you choose to have this message in your life and to believe this, what I see as truth, in my growing belief system of trying to incorporate everything into my life as truth. Everything. I believe in the multiverse theory, so I can believe absolutely anything, be it true, false, or whatever. I believe everything is truth, no matter what. And I think there are ways to just incorporate absolutely anything into your belief system, and all words that we can describe as a quality, even the most extreme, such as true or false, we can absolutely rationalize anything. See what I'm saying? So, if you anyway, I got a little sidetracked there. If you choose to accept this message of health as truth to you, then your journey is going to become internal, and externally, you're going to be giving up a lot of things. You know, this is something you've been told before. Anytime you decide to, you know, pursue like a way of life, people will tell you you're going to have to let go of a lot, right? So for me, like this was really hard because I had accomplished some stuff in life, and some people had like built up expectations of what I was going to do to like satisfy them. And suddenly when I got sick and when I began my health journey, people you know, it didn't matter to me anymore, and what mattered to me was my health and nothing more than that. And you know, you kind of realize that health is a journey, and no one's ever gonna be perfect, and we all, you know, we all die someday, but we pursue that, you know, we pursue like absolute like perfection. You know, it's a natural human tendency. So yeah, anyway, like my journey, like suddenly I stopped making people happy, and people stopped expecting anything out of me, anything, and I stopped delivering anything. I mean, like, I let go of all of my relationships with anybody but myself, and I finally was myself, and that was something that maybe not everybody is going to get the chance to do, because I was homeless on the streets with nothing. I mean, I was living out of a dumpster, and all I had was internet access, thank God. So, not saying you should do that, but that it's gonna be something that happens. Is you're gonna lose your validity as a person. You're not going to be able to keep up with the old person that used to impress people anymore. You're not going to be able to impress people anymore. At least not the same ways that you always did. And you're going to make a deeper impression on the whole world. You're going to finally start living your life purpose once you start pursuing health as your highest priority, as you already are, in my opinion. So I hope you guys can, you know, develop your own understanding of that a little bit, and kind of like build this concept up for yourself a little more now that I've kind of given it to you. It's a big idea. It's a really big idea. And this channel luckily has the name The Message of Health. I feel very fortunate to have that name. But it's our job as a human race to spread this message. So please, please do everything you can do to use your voice. That's my message of the year. That is my 2013 number one life advice. Open your mouth and say what the fuck you believe. Think before you talk, but really, really use your words. You know, people give us this advice like, set an example. You know, they say, as a vegan, the best thing to do to promote the vegan message is to be a good example, which is totally true. But to communicate the message, we use this. We use our fucking mouth. Alright? So, don't expect people to hear what the fuck you have to say if you don't say anything. That's my 2013 number one words of advice. Other than that, go vegan. Pursue perfect fruitarianism. Pursue a 100% fruit diet. You know? Like, you can fucking die trying to do that. I'm not saying everybody needs to do this right now, but this is our ideal. We want perfection in life. There's nothing wrong with pursuing that. And it doesn't really ever happen. It doesn't happen. And if it does, it's super rare. But, yeah, that's the message of health, people, is like, enjoy your journey to perfection. And you'll probably not get there until you die. But it's what we live for. There is... there is a light at the end of a tunnel. There is hope, and it's the nature of the universe, yo. So, peace out, hippies, and I hope, like, I made at least a little bit of sense there. Go fruit yourself.